Okay, so I'm just going to say it now because I know I've seen comments about readings being depressing. I read what I see and what I feel. So off the bat, this is leaning towards the negative. So if you don't like that and you see yourself getting upset, my recommendation is to turn away. Hopefully it takes a more positive turn, but we do have some cards of difficulties here. Your focus card, not the most difficult card, but one of my least favorites, the Four of Cups. It's just a card where there's very little energy, very little excitement. There's boredom here with this card. There's opportunity around you, but you're disinterested for the time being. And this may also feel like being left out. Now, there's no Five of Cups, but I feel the energy with this Four. Or at least, again, wanting to be a part of something that is not an opportunity that's currently available for you is coming through. Now, on the general side, we have the Three of Swords, the Sun, and the Queen of Wands. So you end in your element here, so you do maintain your composure, whatever the situation is. We have some sort of heat coming through, whether it's a heated argument or something that has been difficult that comes to light. I feel like the Sun shines a light on the Three of Swords, and whatever's caused that Three of Swords, as we know, that three can more often than not be a very difficult energy to overcome. It represents heartbreak, separations, things of that nature that you've dealt with. Now, the Sun could also be healing, I feel, for that Three of Swords, because we do have the energy of people being playful and still able to enjoy the moment. So it's interesting is that these characters are more aligned in this side, whereas she is just distance from that energy. And I think that in some ways, while the Three of Swords is happening or has happened, you are trying to disconnect from that feeling, much like the Four of Cups would do as well. Queen of Wands, I believe, as I already said, as the outcome, puts you in your element. You're feeling like yourself regardless of the situation. You may have like some sort of passion or just energy to be involved, do something, and not like sit idly by waiting for something to come to you. That's the energy I get with this Queen. Now, on the love side, we have the Page of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and one of my least favorite cards, the Five of Cups. I kind of put it together with the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords because this could be an emotional upset that you really don't want to experience. And this is an overwhelming feeling of emotion, as we see. I see a lot of water in this card. So uncontrollable feelings, more than likely, again, they lean towards negative with the Five of Cups. The Nine of Swords add this energy too. There's communication here. Something has been said, learned, heard that has brought you confusion and this anxiety as well. Sleepless nights is a possibility with the Nine of Swords. You don't know where conversations are headed. You don't know how to recover the situation. That's all coming through with this energy. All right, clarification cards for the Four of Cups. The Hierophant. So this is showing like how things currently are, I feel, is just not satisfactory to you. You want to change from the status quo. Some of you could be in a marriage or at a job that you just find stale at this point too. It doesn't have to be a marriage. It could just be any sort of commitment. Let's get one for the General. King of Swords. So we have two people coming through, which to me says that there is an energy between two that has more than likely come to the surface. It may have been a difficult situation considering the Three of Swords is there. More. You have mixed feelings about another person, how to approach them or what to do with them as well. Whether or not to keep them at bay. The King of Swords is the type to kind of push people back, not necessarily let them get too close. Not the most open king there is. Three of Swords. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. Well, that could be... Let me actually get something for the Sun and ponder that, how I feel about that. Interesting. All right, so there's like what's appearing in the clarification cards, mixed feelings towards an opportunity that could be fresh for you, which I find fascinating. It's like some sort of news or revelation may have come down. You may have become aware of it. It may have been a surprise. And there's positivity with the Eight of Wands and the Fool. But at the same time, you're very, very cautious about what this is. What's caused the Three of Swords? Let me just see, ask that. The past. So there is a tie here to the past that you're all too familiar with. So that brings about uncertainties when it comes to whatever's happening here. Things are moving quite quickly. Let's see. And you have, you have the Ten of Wands with the Sun. And it's as if something positive is there, but it's also a burden to you. It adds a sense of obligation that you don't necessarily want to take on. Some of you may be dealing with children, Two of Pentacles. Burden, resolving that situation with a past partner potentially. I know this isn't supposed to be love focused with the general side, but it's coming through as a connection with another person being very important this week. And dealing with that person, but the end result is more than likely a bit of back and forth. And I think I see the Queen of Wands as representing yourself. I feel you playing this very cautiously. Taking your time. You may be all too, again, familiar with how this person reacts or how they are. So you're just very, very cautious about this situation. Love. King of Rods. There could be something here in love that you're considering working on. Maybe, again, there has been a lot of emotional conflict with a partner, with your love life in general, but you're willing to work on it. If you're single, then I feel as though your situation right now makes you very upset, but you're willing to continue to put the time and effort to connect with people until you find someone that matches. Even if it stresses you out, you're not letting that bring you down. What about the Five of Cups? And it feels as though communication that you've experienced when it comes to love has been disappointing to you. You may not have been able to connect with someone on that level, like have long talks, get to know each other. It just doesn't really flow naturally is what it seems like is the case. If you're in a relationship, it may more lean towards an argument that has caused an emotional upset. And you're still thinking about it with the Seven of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Page of Wands. There is quite a bit of back and forth communication. Again, children could be involved here with these young pages. Otherwise, it's quick conversations that also has some heat towards it. I think that there is the attempt here to express a wish to someone, and it's causing you concern that they're either not listening to what you want, or you're just concerned they're not going to give you what you want. You're not going to hear what you want. Something of that nature. Let's get one more overall for love. All right, but things are progressing. Just slowly, meticulously, and you're taking your time with whatever is going on here. Interesting, the outcome cards here. So your focus card, though, is the Star. Aspirations, dreams, things that you're hoping for, wanting very much. You could be focused, again, on big goals, bigger picture for yourself, and really thinking, feeling, well, what is it that I really want? So this could be one of those weeks where you're in that deep contemplation mode, figuring out what is it you want to achieve. This may also be a week where you're in the spotlight. I don't know, for some reason this star is feeling like a star, an entertainer this week. So that could be the case for some of you. Now, on the general side, and for some reason my finger is twitching like crazy, weird. All right, so on the general side, the World and the Eight of Wands with Strength here. Something has come to a conclusion, and it feels like with that conclusion is brought quite a bit of change rapidly with the Eight of Wands. Some of you are traveling basically the world globally, maybe going somewhere outside of your country, wherever you live, and it's at a great distance. That's for some as well. I do get the vibe with the Eight of Wands, so there is that sense of speed, momentum for you this week. And there's also, though, with Strength, a need to be patient and push through situations. Maybe for some that are looking towards traveling outside of where you live, especially just far, far away, there are some problems with visas or something you may have to wait for. So you may show restraint or that patience in order to get through that waiting period. For others, this is the week that you travel again, and the strength card requires that endurance that you have to have for some reason. Maybe there's something about this trip that I don't think it stresses you out, but there's something where you need to kind of toughen up for whatever reason. That's coming up for some. Otherwise, again, I get a situation has wrapped up and there's quick momentum and progress immediately following whatever that was that basically ended. And the outcome card here still requires you to muster up the strength to deal with the things that are coming your way, because they're coming quickly. I don't see it as a burden. I see it as just having a lot to take care of and on your shoulders with this energy. Now, if we look at the love side, we got the Six of Cups, the Five of Wands, and Judgment. Some of you are debating whether or not to go back to someone, or whether or not it's worth the time to revisit a situation or conflict with a partnership. That could have been a small argument. This could be a repeated thing, being the Six of Cups is here. And you could be thinking, is it necessary to go back to this? Is it not? That could be something that you're coming into awareness with Judgment here. Judgment also could be making you have that clarity, that wake up moment where it's like, oh, I know what the answer is. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to say. And this is you making that call. In some cases, it might be an actual phone call or text, a major message that has quite a bit of relevance here with Judgment. And I feel like it all has to do with what you want, what you come to realize that you want. So, keep forgetting. Let's get one additional overall for the general. Temperance. So Temperance adds to the energy of strength, where there's patience required. Things will take time before the right balance is found, but you're willing to have it, you're exercising it, and again, there is this energy of trying not to rush, despite the fact that things may be moving at a quicker pace for you this week. Love. We have the Five of Swords. The two fives, again, this conflict energy coming through. I feel like you're trying to resolve some problem that is a repeated problem in a relationship. If you're single, somehow your past could feel as though it's haunting you, and this is you in making an effort to try to recover from that situation or deal with it, whether it's internal with an actual ex, something of that nature. All right, let's get the Star. The World again. So again, this could be a week that there are major accomplishments, goals coming into focus, and realizing what you want to put your energy towards. You want something new for yourself where your dreams are bigger. I know it sounds silly, but that's what it feels like. And I guess it doesn't necessarily have to sound silly, but sometimes weeklies can be very minor, but sometimes they're major. Okay, so let's look at strength. The Moon. So requiring strength actually takes a lot of effort, which we knew because that comes with the Strength card. But even more so, it's just like there's a lot of things underneath the surface that's hidden from others, feelings that haven't been touched or really kind of delved into. They're there. You may find this energy of not really knowing where things are going after the fact, but not allowing those fears to overtake you. Let's get the World. So the World, again, it's basically closing out a situation. You've done it. You've gotten all that you can from it. You don't think it's valuable to yourself anymore. You're putting your emotions into it. It's just pointless. Onwards to the next is what's coming through. Eight of Wands. There's our friend Temperance showing up again. And I think Temperance is trying to manage all that's coming towards you because it's coming quickly with the Eight of Wands. Again, you need to sort this out and do so calmly, collectively, not letting the fact that there's information or people trying to reach out to you from all angles overwhelm you. So I think you're doing a great job of that. It's just busy energy that's coming through. Let's go to love. What's the Five of Swords? There's our friend Judgment again. So it's something that could have been hidden, a lie, something that you weren't admitting to yourself, things like that. That's basically being made aware of. So it's not being hidden anymore. You may find the truth in a situation about your relationship this week. One more. Actually, let's get Judgment. Three of Swords. You may come to the realization that it's not worth pursuing or discussing a relationship anymore. You may find that you need to put a very thick skin. This Queen of Swords could also be someone who is just rough around the edges towards you. That could be your partner. Of course, this is the love side, as I said, in which case you don't feel like dealing with them because they have not brought any good energy. Some of you could be made aware of like an affair. Some of you could have had a partner that left and are trying to figure out what has happened, which is interesting. It didn't seem on that level, but the clarifiers are kind of putting it towards that story. So, Six of Cups. Death. If the past is coming through, you're not interested in going down in that direction. If it's about, you know, talking about a similar topic, it's kind of the situation where it's like, how many times can we talk about this? It does not change. This is pointless. That situation is coming through with the Death card. Five of Wands. It could be about, there could be like conflict in a relationship about movement, moving assets, shared assets, things of that nature, and trying to do so amicably, but it may be difficult because the Five of Wands is a dominant energy. If you're single, I don't quite like these cards. That's just how it is, unfortunately. It may feel as though, again, somehow, even if you're single, somehow your past in some way is coming into your love life, distracting the possibility of anything new to enter it. Five of Swords with Judgment. Five of Wands, so definitely quite a bit of conflict coming through that you were hoping to get under control. There's the Six of Cups here as well, and it was like this. So the intention of going back is just not desired from your end. Again, it could be someone who's persistent and you're just like fending them off as much as you can. And it doesn't feel like it's easy. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's irritation. It's like you may have feelings for that person, but you know that you can't go there. That's kind of the vibe I get.